Hello friends, it's your Budol friend, and our Budol item for today is a set of keycaps from Akko. And it's not just any other set of keycaps, it's Akko's take on the popular colorway red and blue samurai that a lot of keyboard enthusiasts really like. But they took it one step further, actually a few steps further, in that if you can't decide if you want the blue samurai or the red samurai, well, they put it together in one package. Also at a lower price than what they're usually sold for. And as I've said before, it contains both colorways. If you can't decide whether you want to buy a blue samurai or a red samurai keycap set, then this might be for you. It is also an ASA profile, so cherry profile lovers, beware. But yeah, let's go ahead and open this. Before that, let's take a quick look around the box. So you have the front of the box. It says the most basic details of the keycaps, shows a preview what you can expect inside, and also some details regarding the company. On the sides, not much going on, just the Akko branding. Here on front, it's what kind of keycap set it is, and on the other side, it's just extension of the keycap colors. So the one thing that I'm a bit surprised about is how they represented the color red. I was thinking that it's more of a lighter shade of red, but this one looks a little bit closer to brown. So there are two boxes inside, a smaller one and a bigger one. We'll of course be opening the smaller one first. And okay, so this one contains the red samurai keycaps. And yeah, as I thought, it's already the whole complete set in there. Of course, the other keys that are common to both colorways are not included, so these are just all of the red Sam keycaps. And yep, just as the packaging hinted at, it's not really a bright shade of red. So if you're looking for a brighter shade of red or something closer to maroon, then you might not like this. It's just like a couple of steps closer to being brown. On the other hand, the yellow legends on it, I think is just the right shade of yellow. It's not too bright, blends well with the keycap color. So we'll open this later, but let's take a quick look at what's behind it. So these are thick. Yep, double shot. Not much when it comes to rough edges. First glance, the keycaps look premium for their price. It's just a matter of learning their sound profile later. So we'll set this aside for now and focus on the bigger box. If contains the red samurai keycap sets, then we have every reason to believe that this one contains all of the blue, because the box is blue. Okay, so this one is something I'm more familiar with. This is what Akko has been using for their latest keycap set colorways, wherein it's in a magnetic plastic case that seems to be sturdy enough. It is a magnet, so that's how it closes together. When we open it, we'll see the rest of the keycap sets. Wow! My first impression on the blue keycaps is that they're way better than the red ones. But maybe it's the plastic playing tricks on me. As we've expected, all of the rest of the keycaps that are common to both colorways are here, printed in yellow, or maybe that's their take on gold. And if you're wondering how these keycaps are glued, I guess, or are rested on the case, then here's how. So you see they have these little notches wherein you can fit the keycap as they would go into a normal key, and that puts them in place together. Now this looks nice since they're stable, they won't fall off. I still prefer just a normal box with just rows and keycaps on it, simply because over time some of the notches might fall off. Worst case, some might get stuck inside some of the other keycaps if they break. And not only that, their fixed size probably means that it will mostly just be able to handle the Akko keycap sets firmly, while the rest of keycaps, for example, for other brands, if you want to put them in here, would simply fall off simply because of that size difference. They can't fit or are probably too loose on the peg. But that aside, I think it's a really good value proposition for Akko, considering that you're just paying a little more for like an extra keycap. You are given at least 157 keys, and that's more than enough to fit all kinds of keyboards. Whether you have 75%, 65%, whether you need those small Control Alt function keys or just smaller shift keys, then you most likely won't run into any problems when it comes to fitting them, as opposed to, let's say, buying a whole 108 keycap set that won't fit, more specialized keyboards. This is already a very good deal. So let's check the keys up close so we can have a look on the quality. So I don't want to open the red ones first, and maybe in testing later I'm going to use the blue instead. It was a bit hard to grab, so you can grab the keycap cooler. By the way, very nice keycap cooler. You don't feel like they're giving you the cheaper ones. It was actually big, robust, and very stable to hold. So here's the keycap at very close inspection. A little bit of texture there, material. Although it's not as rough as I thought it would be. Some of the sides, at the back, so quite thick. So we see some rough parts. Can't really expect every keycap to be in perfect shape. Yeah, seems good. You also have 3 sets of space bars, actually 4. You have your colorway space bar, which is the normal size space bar. You have your alternate gold, or I guess yellow space bar. And of course, you have a longer space bar, which unfortunately is just in one colorway. However, it is black, so you won't have problems mixing it up with the other colorways. And of course, the red colorway, the red Samurai, also has its very own space bar. Okay, so that's it for the whole package. Up next, we'll be mounting these up on a keyboard and then checking for their sound. And for that, we need a keyboard. Now, the overall sound profile of a keyboard is also dependent on the switches that you use, the body, and of course the keycaps themselves. So they play part of the equation, and of course the mods that you use on those. So all of those combined produces the overall sound profile of your keyboard. And as I mentioned before, the keycaps only play one part of it. So, your mileage may differ from mine. In my case, what I have here is my old trusty keyboard, an IKBC MF87, which has been modded to be hot swap and now contains Gateron black ink switches, which has been looped and filmed, and the stabilizers have been changed to Everglides and has been lubed and modded as well. So this has an aluminum body, and yeah, this is the keyboard that we'll put the keycaps in. Rather than waste your time with the fast-paced time-lapse showing me putting the keys one by one, I'm just gonna put this off the frame, and when it comes back, we will have our complete keyboard. Okay friends, we're back, and as you might have hinted from the keycap sets that you're seeing in the background, I've mounted both the blue and the red on my keyboard. Okay, so there are some things that I've realized when I was mounting the keycaps. First, I thought that, one of my main criticisms earlier, it doesn't have any normal neutral sized black space bar, which is quite important, especially if you want to complete this whole area in black. For example, if you're using one colorway, or rather if you're using both colorways and you don't want to be too biased, well, you're just left with the yellow. Other than that, you have to commit to either the yellow, blue, or the red color. Actually, I had a pleasant surprise when I was mounting the red keycaps. So before I thought they could have been a little bit more red, but I take it back. I realized that they are more of the, I guess you can call it faded or dated shade of red to probably be in line with how it was in ancient Japan. And to be honest, I ended up liking it way better than before. So this is how they look like mounted. The blue, of course, still look as vibrant as ever. But the red, no, it's really something else. And yeah, I take back what I said earlier about the red not being red enough. In fact, I think it's the right shade of red for the idea behind this keycap set. So here are its other keys. As far as legends go, I think they are pretty much consistent on the spacing. Nothing that's too way off. One of the minor gripes that I have is that I wish the print screen scroll up and pause break were full words, but it will probably occupy too much space. Okay, Let's go to the main event and hear how it sounds like. Okay friends, so now it's time for my final thoughts about the Akko Red and Blue Samurai Keycaps. Is it Budol worthy? No honesty, I think it is. You are getting 2 keycap sets in one, so you don't have to decide first if you want a red Sam or a blue Sam colorway. Although I wish it had a normal sized black spacebar so that if I were to split the colors like this, I would have an alternative to the yellow. Its colors are nice and reflective of the themes of the keycap set. As I mentioned earlier, my initial impression about the red wasn't as good, but when I was mounting it, I realized that, oh, okay, so this is what they're going for. And I think that they succeeded on that end. As for its build quality, it's thick enough, it doesn't look flimsy. And it even comes with a really nice carrying case, so that's a big plus. And as for its sound profile, already sounds real crisp. So that's it for today. Until our next unboxing, until next time, stay safe guys, and Budol wisely.